College is a place for many different things, whether it's a place to party, learn something new, but what a lot of people don't understand is that with college education, a lot of bad things come with it as well, like high student debt, stress, and being broke. I'm a recent college graduate. I just graduated from California State University, Dominguez Hills. I have a BA in Business Administration with a concentration in General Business, and the past 3 months, I've been really trying hard to get a job. I currently work at a restaurant right now in the meantime as a transition job before I can get something in a career-wise, and it has not been easy. I live in California, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but basically I've been trying constantly on Indeed, LinkedIn, to try to get a job in my field. And one of the things that I've noticed is yes, they do ask for the bachelor's degree, but they also ask for one other important thing, and that is experience. 2 years of experience in this, a year of experience in that, 3 years of experience in this, and you're really left wondering, what was the point of getting this degree if this degree is not going to help me just get this job? How am I supposed to get experience when no one's going to hire me? And this goes back to the point of this whole video. Many people think that college is the end-all be-all for all of their life's problems. Basically, if you're a senior or a junior in high school, one of the main priorities on your list right now is getting into the college of your dreams. Whether it's doing extracurricular activities, getting the best test scores, getting the best grades that you can possibly get, so college recruiters can look at you and take you into their school. That's one of the most important things at the later end of your high school career. That's pretty much all you think about. You're thinking about which colleges are going to accept me, which colleges are going to apply to, and am I going to go study abroad? Things like that. It is not the only option for you to do. Now, being a recent college graduate, I remember when I was in high school and I was in my senior year of high school, and pretty much all I thought about was getting into college, which college is going to accept me. I need to do whatever it takes to get into a specific college, right? And I tried to do that, and I ended up getting into a college. It wasn't the college of my choice, but it was a college that nonetheless accepted me for the grades I had, which weren't amazing, but they weren't the worst either. But basically, there's like a stigma nowadays, really, where if you're not going to college right after high school, you're seen as something more, you're seen as a bit less than the people who are going to college. The people who are going off to prestigious schools like in UCLA, USC, getting the whole college experience, like going to football games, studying, being a part of that college atmosphere. It makes you, sometimes when you're not in that, it makes you feel like you're missing out on something big, like something life-changing, when in fact, you might not be. You might not be missing out on much at all. A lot of people tend to associate having a college degree or going to college as doing something productive in life, having a higher goal in life. And that may be true sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're trying to be a doctor, a dentist, a nurse, a teacher, an engineer, of course you need to go to college, you need school, you need probably a bachelor's, you need a lot of things to do. I understand that. Like, if I had a doctor and he said, oh, I didn't go to school, I just learned everything I did on YouTube and from my uncle watching him do it, I'd be like, you're crazy, you're not touching me. I want someone who was on Xanax for like a week straight and could memorize every single thing on his test in his sleep. That's the kind of doctor I want. The person who legit studied, was stressed out of their mind, basically had it embedded in their brain, everything that they needed to learn. I understand that you need to go to college, you need to get an education, but for the person who's going to college as a last resort, not knowing what to study, not knowing what to do, being forced into going by either their family, their friends, or by society really, to think that just by going to college, just by going to school, you're going to be something great, you're going to do something magical in this world, when in fact you're not. If you're going to school and you have a degree in liberal arts, psychology, anthropology, culinary, humanities, history, chances are you're probably not going to use that degree right after college, and you're going to see firsthand that it's not all sunshine and daisies out there in the real world. You're going to go on Indeed, you're going to go on Monster, you're going to go on LinkedIn, and you're not going to see liberal arts professor just waiting there for you. It's going to be really hard, and you're going to feel very discouraged, and you might even get depressed that you might not even have a job lined up for you. Now, I understand a lot of people are different. Some people might have a job waiting for them outside of college and might have something really great waiting for them, but that's not most people. A lot of people go into college thinking that just getting the degree will make all these doors fly open for you. It might make more doors appear for you, but it's not gonna magically make you have a job all of a sudden. Now, me speaking from personal experience, I know tons of people who can't get a job in whatever they got a degree in. Friends in psychology who have a major in English, who got a major in math, who have a major in anthropology, things like that. And they basically ended up getting a job like either at a bank, they still work at school, they work at something that you didn't need a degree in, they work at something where a college degree was basically useless, but they went to school because they were coerced into going by either their parents or their family or just by everyone else by going to school as well. into thinking that by going to college you're gonna be this extra super successful person when that's not the case. Now, me personally, when I was in high school, I thought about college as basically my only option. I didn't think about any other options because no one really told me about other options I could go through. Nothing that I could pursue, because honestly, most of the time when you're 18 or 17 going into college, you don't really know what you want to do. Some people still don't know what they want to do after college. It's really naive to think that you can trust these kids to make decisions and go off to college and accumulate all this debt for a degree that they're still really not sure that they're gonna go and find a job in that degree. Because I come from a family where I actually became the first one to graduate from college, and my mom, she went to work right out of high school. My dad went to college for about a year, and then he gave it up because he realized it wasn't for him. And they both turned out pretty successful. They didn't need degrees for whatever jobs they had. And that kind of shows you a bit how life works, really. Having that degree there, yeah, it might be like a nice little picture frame to put up on your desk and show people, but at the end of the day, people are going to look at that and be like, okay, whatever, what experience do you have? What can you bring to my company instead of this degree? If we look at the current year of 2019, Forbes listed that 2019 is the highest year for student loan debt at 1.5 trillion, with over 44 million people participating in student loans. That's a lot of people. A lot of people who are getting money for a degree that might or might not get them a job right after college. And it's tough because they think that it's going to work out, everything's going to be worth it. I'm going to have this degree that's going to open all these doors for me, but then they come to the realization that, it's not all like that. There's other people vying for jobs too, and there might not be that many openings for whatever job you're trying to go to, or there might not be any openings at all, really. College usually is forced down on a lot of us because that is kind of pictured as the end-all be-all of our future right after high school. People don't tell you about trade schools, people don't tell you about starting your own business, people don't tell you about fellowships, community colleges. People just think, go to USC, get all this debt, and let's see what you can do after that. And I think that's totally wrong. Don't get me, I'm not gonna lie, did I have fun in college? Somewhat. Did I learn in college? Yeah, of course. I learned a lot about history, economics, business, law, but honestly, that is all stuff I could have learned on my own through the internet and going to the library and just reading books by myself. In all honesty, I didn't have, I could have skipped out on paying for parking. I could have skipped out for paying for books. I could have skipped out for paying for classes. I could have skipped out on wasting my money on a lot of this stuff. But you do get that whole college experience where you're around a classroom, you're around other people, you meet new people, you do things, you have a new sense of self-responsibility where you choose your own classes, you drive or you kind of dorm there, and you kind of get this whole new sense of belonging in a way, of campus culture. You get a part of that. I have friends who are over $20,000 in debt, some in $50,000 and some in even $100,000. That's how much debt they put on themselves. You go to these prestigious UC schools and you think, oh wow, I'm in college, I'm the first person ever in my family to be in college, I'm doing something no one else has done. But yeah, you're doing it, but is it for yourself? Is it to get a degree that is going to get you a lot of money, that is going to get you a job right after high school? And many of the times it's not. You're going and you're living the college experience. You're going to parties, you're meeting new people, and you have a job on campus, and it all feels like the college experience, but at the expense of you getting in all these bills and all this debt, and then later coming to the realization that, I can't find a job with this English degree I got, maybe I should go back. And then you accumulate more debt, and then you're in your master's program, and then it's a whole nother story from there. Instead of thinking about going to college, look at other options that are at your disposal. Look at trade schools, look at vocational programs, look at community colleges, look at starting your own business, look at doing other things that not just focus on doing college. Because I know what it's like personally to be confused and scared of the future when you don't really know what's going on, when you don't know what you want, and you're just going to school just because college has looked at that option where you look good because you're in college and you might be doing something, but in actuality you're just there, not really caring, and you're just doing it for other people's approval in a way. So to wrap up everything, you need to look at your options in total. You got to look at the pros and cons of going to college. You got to look at the pros and cons of doing something other than college, and you got to come up with a good idea of what you want to do with your own life. You can't really listen to what other people think is best for you, because if you do that, you're going to go on an unhappy career path, and you're not going to do what you thought was best for you, and you might end up regretting all the years that you wasted that could have gone to what you wanted to do in this whole time. Yes, college can be fun. Yes, it can be stressful. Yes, there are many things about college that make it special in a place that you want to go to, but there are also things about college that make you not want to go to it and make you want to skip out on everything that causes people stress, anxiety, and usually a tendency to break down. One should consider all the options that they have right in front of them before making a decision, before spending all this money on a career that they might not have a job in later, or in a career that they might find out later that they have no interest in doing. And I hope people start doing that and focusing on what's best for them and not doing what's best for other people.